We are going to do a live stream here. Look at this. Here we go. Let me get the live stream link and link it to the person who is in Discourse who needs it. And hopefully they can show up and watch the live stream. How exciting. There's the link. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully chat will be enabled. Who knows? We're going to give this a go. I'm going to share my screen here. Where's my screen? Share this screen. And let's go to full screen on that and put me down in the corner like this. Perfect. All right. I'll give the Discourse user a second to hop into the stream. In the meantime, I'm going to go and run through a host it anywhere quick start. All right. So first thing I need to do is, what is my external DNS on this thing? That is my external DNS. So we will export external DNS equals. It's right there. And now we will run you know what, maybe just bring this over here, show you that I am actually going to run the same commands from the quick start. All right, so I'm just going to copy this entire block using that little copy command. Come back over to here, paste all that stuff in. You see we set some external IPs, and then we're running that express install, all as one big block. Now it'll download all of the information. Oh, sorry, my daughter is texting me. I'm trying to do this live stream, Nadia. So it'll go through, it will create a complicated PKI, which is what it's doing right now, and then it will start up the controller. I have this machine already out there, already listening, and already has the proper holes in the firewall. So I just have to wait for this to finish running. And then that'll be the machine in the cloud that I use. And then I'll have to make an identity. So let me turn off my local tunneler and go and set all that. Windows. I run Windows. So I'm going to go and back up my profile. Data, NetFoundry. New folder, backup 2022 1121. Move those things there. All right, startup. Okay, so there's my tunneler. This is my local computer. So we're going to have three computers. We're going to have the one in the sky, which is the one that you see. This is sitting in Amazon land. That is the controller and the edge router. Let me finish that quick start real quick. Copy our systemd commands. And then copy them in the right place, start everything up. Make sure we have two processes. We do. Great. Make sure they're actually running. Running and running. I don't need that. I'm going to skip the Zach for now. I don't know if you're using the ZD admin console or not. I don't remember. Let me look at the line. Nope. Okay, we're just following through the quick start. Using the overlay, go to the services quick start. All right. And this one. Look over here. All right, open the prerequisite. I need a server, so I'm going to run the Hello World server. It's going to expose port 80. And it goes into 8000. I'm going to run it from the same computer. Should I run it from the same computer? No, I'm going to run this from my virtual machine. I also turned on my virtual machine. Clear all this stuff out. Right, and we'll bring that on screen. So here's a Ubuntu virtual machine. Let me shrink it down so it's not so big. Machine. Adjust window size. That was not what I wanted. Auto adjust window size. That's what I wanted. All right, cool. So here's my Ubuntu virtual machine. So that's going to be down here. This is going to be where I run the CRC check Docker container. It's already running. Docker PS. Okay, so it is already running. Let's Docker stop, or actually RMF 814. They're going to tab complete web test. That's supposed to be an F. Okay, Docker ps-a. All right, now I can run that same command. And now I can do a curl to localhost port 80. Okay, cool. That's running. So now this is my virtual machine, and it is exposing port 80. This is my controller and my router. And then let me make a new window over here, and this will represent my Windows machine. I'll even go into command.exe so that you can see it's Windows. And then I'll turn it around and I'll do it with Linux too. All right, so that's everything. So now let's go through the quick start here. We have a tunneler. Okay, I have a client tunneler. That's my Windows one. I have a server tunneler. I don't have that yet, but I do have on the virtual machine, I do have ZD Edge tunnel right here. Okay, that's what I'll use on the server machine. And prerequisites CLI. I've got the ZD CLI. I'll need that. That makes sense. If you're using Docker base, we've got a little bit of an issue right here. Got some hard to read doc controller CLI. Docker exec. Oh, that's that. See now, okay. So this is, I can already tell this was geared toward using the Docker quick start because it's asking you to exec into a container. And we don't have a container. So I'll have to fix this whole doc. Let's configure the overlay. Create an identity for HTTP client. Yep. Oh, this is what we're going to do. Okay. Configuring the overlay using CSCLI, HTTP DNS. Step 4. Of course, you have set up a variable with the HTTP server, which is okay. I'll show you how to do that. That's easy enough. Step 7, you need the ID. All right. All right. Okay. I remember it. I remember enough where I can start just going. Let's go back to let's go back to here. This is where I have ZD Edge list identities. Now I need the source. Let me source ZD quick start IP dot env. There we go. All right, I've already logged into. Great. So I just have one router identity and I have one default user. Perfect. So now I got to make a couple of users. Should be my first step. Yep. So create an identity called HTTP client. I'm going to use this on my Windows machine. So right out of the gate, I'm going to go back to here, change to my temp folder, and then SCP from that machine, the HTTP client.jwt to here. No such file. HTTP client.jwt. Am I in the right folder? I'm in the right folder. HTTP client. Let's try that again. I'll paste it. That looks correct to me. I don't know what I did differently. Some type of minus versus a period. I see. All right. So now I come over to my identity. I click add, c:temp, http.client.jwt. I have no services. That's what I expect. Great. Now let's go back and do this. Oops. Why did you copy that? Copy. Paste. Duplicate HTTP client. Did I copy the wrong one? Okay, there's the server. And now I'm going to get that down to my machine again. This one I want server. This one is the minus server. Nope, dot server. All right, server.jwt here. Now my virtual machine has access to mount vtemp. Make that bigger. And in here, there should be an http.server.jwt. So let's do a ZD. It's actually back here. ZD edge tunnel enroll dash J mount vtemp http server to output. We'll call http. I'll put it to the temp folder. Mount vtemp http.json. Let's do server. It's not O, it's I. Okay, so now that's enrolled. Great. Let's see what my doc said to do here, just so I can compare what I did versus what the doc said I should do. Create an identity. Oh, I haven't enrolled it yet. Enrollment is further down. Enrollment is down here in step 8. I skipped ahead. Shame on me. All right, well, let me go back to the doc and I'll read the doc. ZD edge create config. That all looks fine. Actually, let me verify the intercept. So this is the intercept is gonna be where my client, what it gets for an IP or IP address or an intercept. In this case, http.zd. I want that. So I'll do this. Paste that into here. New config created, and then now I need the HTTP server. So I'm going to offload from the overlay network to localhost because I'm running it. I'm going to run the virtual machine where I'm running the Docker container. That's going to be my my offload. So I'm going to use HTTP server equals localhost. So now this should be going to port 80. Yes, 8000 is when it's running inside of the Docker space. So I need to make a small edit to this doc that says if you're running in Docker space, it's cooler to use port 8000 because then you don't have port 80 exposed. But that is an oversight for sure. I don't know why that's red. Create the service. Now I still don't have an authorization yet, so my client shouldn't have anything. So now I'm going to authorize these things by making a dial policy. HTTP service. Anybody with the clients should now be able to dial. So now I should get one service here shortly. There's my one. Perfect. Now let's go over to the Docker whale and let's run ZD Edge tunnel again. But this time we're going to use run. I'm going to use sudo so I can open ports. And I'm going to give it a -I. And this. Okay, I missed the slash. Okay, so it came up and running. It's connected. It says it's got a service named HTTP server here. That's the name of it. It's not a service yet. Where is the service? I don't think I've made the dial policy yet. No, the bind policy, pardon me. So I'll make the bind policy. Return there so that we see when it receives the bind policy. Oh, no, I did not do the server ID. Okay, so now here's where I need to do a ZD edge list identities. Get the server ID and say HTTP server ID. Where did it go? Server ID equals that. Now I should be able to do this. Yay, now I have that. And now over here in about 10 seconds, some stuff happens. Now I have a service. Everything should be good to go. Now let's go back to the documentation itself. Where did I put it? Right here. I've already done the enrollment steps because I skipped ahead. I should not have skipped ahead. ZD Edge tunnel enroll, ZD Edge tunnel run. I've already done those 2 steps. I've already done the client, and in this case, I'm not using ZD Edge tunnel. I use the Windows version. So now I should be able to curl to http.zd, cmd.exe, paste. See if I did it right. That's too long. I do not appreciate that. So let's look at my log. Oops, let's look at this log here. Okay, so I look at my log, and it says con ID unknown connection, con ID registered DNS. This is definitely not expected. Dial failed, didn't complete in time. All right, so let's look at the Ubuntu machine. Did it receive failed connection? Let me move this up here. 8,000. Well, no wonder why. I made the service wrong. Shame on me. We talked about 8,000 versus 80, and then I went and just copied and pasted it. All right, so let's do a. I got to go back and get that. I'm going to just run an update command instead. I'm going to update that config. Where's the config? Right here. I'm going to pull it over here so I can just make it bigger. So let's do a ZD. Nope. Are you caps locked? ZD edge update config. This is called http.host.v1. And then we're going to copy and paste all the same stuff. Echo that so I can see what it looks like. ZD edge update config, blah, blah, blah. Yep. And then let's fix this. There you go. Go back over to here. Wait for it to recognize an update. Should. I don't know if it'll log that, actually. I would imagine it would log it. Well, we'll just go for it. YOLO. On 8,000. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's different. So I've updated the config. I did not seem to notice that. Oops. I did not want to stop it. All right, let's try it again. Now that I've stopped it, I've already probably fixed it. Still going to 8,000. All right, let's try this one more time. Did we? How about we actually run the update command? That's what happened. ZD edge update config HTTP host v1, all those things. That's all right. So what did I mess up? ZD edge update config HTTP host v1 accepts one arg and got two. Oh, I'll just do this then. Why is that? I've got a misquote in here. ZD edge update config HTTP host v1. Oh, minus D. I've got to provide the minus D for data when performing the update. It's a little bit different. There we go. Now this should notice that eventually. There we go. Okay. I'm feeling better. Let's do that curl. Hey, there's the Docker whale. Fantastic. So, yep, the doc's got a couple. Yes, I did an update. Echo. Thank you, James. I didn't even see your comment, but thank you. The dock does have a tiny bit of a problem around port 8,000 versus port 80 that I'll probably have to update. Thank you for pointing that out. I hope that helped. I don't know if it helped. I can try. Let's see. This is for LZT. I can try using an IP address if that would be interesting. But that's the steps, including some goof ups, right? You got to see me do some live debugging, which was fun. Yeah, mostly worked as long as I do it right, copy and paste it correctly. If you have any questions, follow up on the discourse, but hopefully that was useful. And I don't see any comments coming in from the chat there, so I'll hang out for another minute and see if it just takes Restream here a moment. Oh, I see a comment coming through Discourse. All right, let's see how it goes. I heard the cats fighting earlier. I don't know if you could hear that or see that. It's back there. Every good live stream needs cats, right? I could probably also do it with ZDH Tunnel instead of Windows Desktop Edge. Maybe that would be useful. Turn it around. So if I used Desktop Edge, which is this, I could actually use the same machine for intercept and dispatch. That's all right. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for the confirmation, and thanks for participating in the live stream. That was fun. See ya.